to Kidsplay. It's Julie here. Today, instead of reading a story to you, I'm going to take you back into my front garden. I don't know if you can remember way back to March when we stopped having playgroup. But when we started our films, I showed you a tree in my front yard that had lost all of its leaves because it was autumn and it was very bare. Well, I'm going to show you that same tree today, and you won't believe your eyes. Let's have a look at another tree in my yard that's bare at the moment, because this is what it looked like back in March. Can you see that there are bare branches? There are no leaves on this tree. This is a crabapple blossom tree. Now let's have a look at the tree we looked at before. This little branch is still bare, but can you see the tiny buds that are sitting on this little branch? The flowers are just beginning. Let's look at when they're a tiny bit bigger. Can you see that on this branch they're just beginning to open up a tiny little bit? Can you see a little bit of colour there? And now look at these amazing flowers. Beautiful pink blossoms, and oh, they smell delicious too. Really beautiful scent. These flowers have fully blossomed. The tree hasn't got all of its flowers out yet. It's not in full bloom, but it's looking very beautiful at the moment. And I can't wait when all of those tiny buds bloom into a beautiful blossom tree. It's been interesting looking at this tree. Over the past few weeks, I've seen a cocoon, and when I went to find it yesterday, it wasn't there anymore, which means whatever was living in it has grown and has flown away. In the mornings when I come out, there are bits of this tree all over the ground because the birds have been pecking at the flowers to get the nectar. But today I want to show you another creature that comes here when the flowers are blossoming. That's right, it's the buzzy bees. Here are some buzzy bees that are visiting this tree in the mornings and in the afternoons. They're collecting pollen from every flower, and that sits on little sacs on their legs, which they take back to their hive. And that's how honey's made, boys and girls. Do you like honey? Well, you can thank the bees. It's a beautiful tree, and it looks after lots and lots of creatures. I hope you've enjoyed watching the bees today and looking at the beautiful blossoms. We're going to make a blossom tree now. So let's look at how we're going to do our lovely blossom tree today. I've made a little example of a tree. It's not finished, but I just wanted to give you some idea of what we're doing. Some of you may have made these last year, but we had lots of fun. So this is what we need for today. We need a white piece of paper, or any coloured piece of paper really. We need some pink tissue paper, but there are also white blossom trees, so you could do a white blossom, and you could even do a wattle tree because wattles are in bloom at the moment as well. So either pinks, whites, or yellow paper. I've already crumpled up some pieces, so you might like to crumple up a few before you start. There's some in my bowl too. We need some glue, and we need some food colouring. You could also use ink, but food colourings are a really good alternative. Mum might need to help you with this, Mum or Dad, and you can use any colour that you have in your cupboard. I'm going to be using, what colour's this? That's right, green. I'm using green today. And I've also got a straw that I've made out of paper because I didn't have any straws, so that I can blow the ink. If you haven't got any ink to blow, you could also just find a little twig in your backyard and you can easily just sticky tape that to the paper and add that on. All right, let's get started. Boys and girls, one thing I forgot to mention is that if you are working on a table, you might need to put down some cardboard or some newspaper so the ink doesn't go on your tablecloth. So the first thing we're going to do is to get our colouring, and I'm going to pour just a little bit in the lid. I'm going to get my little branch to start with and just draw a very basic outline of a tree. Then I'm going to put some blobs of ink on my paper, just little blobs here and there, and then we're going to put the lid back down safely. I'm going to get my straw and I'm going to blow. Now you need to be careful that you don't suck this in, boys and girls. You have to blow. I'm going to lift my paper. So I'm making lots of little twigs and branches. You might need to twist your paper around. It's beginning to look like my crabapple tree now because my crabapple blossom tree, the branches go everywhere. Keep blowing, keep blowing. Right to the end, and if you want to come back this way, I think that looks just about right. I'm just going to blow this a little bit more where there's lots of ink. Wow, that looks like a very interesting tree. All right, so what I need to do next is to get my paper. So I'm going to start just by getting some strips of paper, and we can tear it with our fingers. And this is a really great activity, boys and girls, because this helps our fingers to become really strong. I'll get my glue. And I'm just going to plonk my... Now, if you want to, you could even leave this for 10 minutes to dry before you started doing your gluing your bits on, because otherwise you might, if you put the glue into the ink, it might spread it everywhere. So here I am crumpling. Again, crumple. Can you hear that crumpling noise? It sounds really good, doesn't it? It's like a crackling noise. So we just put our blossoms all over our tree, wherever you want to. I'm going to choose some light pink now to add a bit of variety, because on our blossom tree that we saw before, the flowers are actually light pink and dark pink on the same flower. I wonder if you could be really clever. You might be able to put pink on top of pink to make your flower light pink and dark pink together. So I'm just going to keep going here. So you can either put the glue onto your piece of paper, your scrunch paper, and just plonk it on, or you can glue straight onto the paper. That's entirely up to you. It's looking much better now, my tree. Now I'm not going to completely cover the tree because, as you saw outside, some of the buds hadn't come out yet. So you can put as much or as little on as you like. I'm even going to put some down here because I don't know if you noticed on the video, but when the breeze blows, the blossoms fly off the tree. Sometimes in my back garden, when I walk outside, it looks like I've got a carpet of petals. It's quite beautiful. Here we go, a few more, just to make it look really colourful. Pasting on lots of glue onto my lovely blossom tree. One more little bit. Oh, that got stuck to my fingers. One more here. How is that looking? I wonder if I need a few more pieces. I might just put on 3 more pieces. Let me try. 1, 2, and 3. 3 more blossoms on my tree. So boys and girls, let's have a look at our finished blossom tree. And here it is. I think that looks pretty colourful. I can almost smell those beautiful blossoms. Have fun making your blossom tree today. Bye.
Okay guys, this song's called Alice the Camel. If you know the words, just sing along with me. Here we go. Alice the camel has 3 humps. Alice the camel has 3 humps. Alice the camel has 3 humps. So go, Alice, go. A boom, boom, boom. Alice the camel has 2 humps. Alice the camel has 2 humps. Alice the camel has 2 humps. So go, Alice, go. A boom, boom, boom. Alice the camel has 1 hump. Alice the camel has 1 hump. Alice the camel has 1 hump. So go, Alice, go. A boom, boom, boom. Alice the camel has no humps. Alice the camel has no humps. Alice the camel has no humps, 'cause Alice is a horse, of course.